Okay, present tense khatam. We move to past tense and start with past simple. Past simple is used to talk about completed actions that happened at a fixed time in the past. So actually it's used to talk about completed actions या फिर past states. Oh my god, एक second. Um, okay, this reads states. अच्छा, तो completed actions तो ये होते हैं कि वो actions जो माजी में खत्म हो गए, शुरू भी माजी में हुए, खत्म भी माजी में, obviously. एंड पास्ट स्टेट्स जो हमने बात की थी, स्टेट्स की एक्शंस या स्टेट्स की प्रेजेंट सिंपल में कि एक्शंस तो चीजें होती हैं जो हैपन हो रही होती हैं, और स्टेट्स वो चीजें होती हैं जो हम बी, जो वर्ब बी है उनके साथ सिंपल टेंसेस में दिखाते हैं यूजुअली. तो जैसे अगर हम कहेंगे शी वॉज हैप्पी, तो हैप्पी होना इमोशन जो है वो एक स्टेट है. तो स्टेट में आपके इमोशंस आते हैं और आप क्या चीज है, यानी प्रोफेशनली आप कह सकते हैं शी वॉज अ डॉक्टर, ही वॉज अ डॉक्टर. तो एक्शंस के ही प्लेड क्रिकेट, या स्टेट्स ही वॉज सैड, ही वॉज एन इंजीनियर, प्रोफेशनल स्टेट्स या इमोशनल स्टेट्स, दोनों चीजें जो है वो पास्ट सिंपल दिखाती है. एक में पास्ट सिंपल में ईडी वाला वर्ब आता है और एक में बी का पुराना फॉर्म आता है वर्ब का. हमने प्रेजेंट सिंपल में भी बात की थी कि स्टेट्स और एक्शंस दोनों सिंपल टेंसेस दिखाते हैं, स्टेट्स विद the B form. Okay. Is the most common tense used in English. So past simple is used to tell stories. जब भी आप किसी को बताते हैं मेरे साथ ये हुआ, I woke up at 10 a.m. But I was late to school because the bus did not arrive on time, hadn't arrived on time, whatever. ये सारी कहानियां जो हैं जो आप सुना रहे होते हैं मेरे साथ ये हुआ ये हुआ ये हुआ, यूजुअली इसमें बहुत सारे टेंसेस मिक्स होकर इस्तेमाल होते हैं, बट यूजुअली इट्स मोस्टली पास्ट सिंपल. So it's the most common tense used in English because whenever you're describing your day or writing a story, you usually default to the past simple tense. Uh, Walter washed his car on Tuesday. So last night I watched a documentary about the Bermuda Triangle. After work, Nadia listened to music and started reading a new book. तो हम ऑलरेडी देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे एक इमर्ज हो रहा है. वॉल्टर इज ए सब्जेक्ट जो काम कर रहा है. वॉश्ड यानी ईडी वाला वर्ब, and then the rest of the sentence, his car on Tuesday. Here I is the subject, watched ed wali wo, and then the rest of the sentence, a documentary about the Bermuda Triangle. The rest of the sentence made time marker bhi aayega, last night. Nadia is a subject, she did two verbs. Ek to listen to music, ye ed wala verb, this is one. And also Nadia ed started reading a new book. So started and then the present participle reading a new book. नई किताब पढ़ना शुरू की. तो subject ed वाला verb and then the rest of the sentence. So ये time marker भी rest of the sentence में आएगा. तो इन तीन जुमलों को देख के we can I guess pretty confidently say कि subject plus ed verb plus the rest of the sentence is a feature of the past simple. So if we were to say that Walter washed his car last Tuesday, we would put it sometime here, a action that happened last Tuesday, somewhere here. Last night I watched a documentary, so somewhere here, last night. Oh, sorry. So somewhere here, last night I watched a documentary. after work Nadia listened to music and started reading a new book. So अगर if this is the moment, जैसे ये कल इवनिंग है, कल रात के 8 बजे या शाम के जब नादिया का काम खत्म हुआ ऑफिस का, तो we can say that she listened to music and she started reading a new book. So an action that happens sometime in the past. Most verbs in the past simple do not change with the subject. So ज़्यादातर verbs जो हैं subject कुछ भी हो, I, you, he, they, we, Sarah, Tom, the children, mostly the verb doesn't change. So the way to form it is the subject is the past form of the verb जो usually ed लेता है, and so the same form is used for all subjects. चाहे कोई भी subject हो, usually the past form remains the same. So it's not like कि I है तो am आएगा, you है तो are आएगा. It's just the ed वाला verb that remains the same for all subjects. So it's subject plus the past form of the verb plus the rest of the sentence. I played tennis yesterday, they played tennis yesterday. That is a past simple sentence, a event that happened in the past that you are describing using a subject, an ed verb, and the rest of the sentence. Spelling rules for the past simple. Usually the past simple of all regular verbs ends in ed, but for some verbs there are some spelling changes. So कुछ verbs में कुछ स्पेलिंग चेंजेस होती हैं. तो ये हम रेगुलर वर्ब्स की बात कर रहे हैं. रेगुलर वर्ब्स होते हैं वो इजी वर्ब्स जिसके अंदर पास्ट फॉर्म या कंटिन्यूअस फॉर्म जिसमें आईएनजी लगता है, वो सिंपल होती हैं. आप सिंपली ईडी लगा देते हैं पास्ट फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए. तो उसमें कुछ में जैसे वॉश है दैट्स रेगुलर, आपने ईडी लगा दिया. डांस भी ऑलमोस्ट रेगुलर है, जो वर्ब्स ई में एंड होते हैं उसमें आप ईडी लगा के डांस ईड नहीं कर देंगे. आप डांस क्योंकि ई में ऑलरेडी एंड हो रहा है तो आप सिर्फ डी लगाएंगे. ट्राई वाई में एंड हो रहा है तो आप वाई को आई कर देंगे और फिर ईडी लगाएंगे. स्टॉप वही द कॉन्सोनेंट वोवेल कॉन्सोनेंट एंड द स्ट्रेस्ड सिलेबस स्टॉप ऑप. तो स्टॉप में आप दोबारा से ये रिपीट करेंगे आखिरी लेटर PED. सही है. दीज आर फेयरली सिंपल रेगुलर वर्ब्स जिनको चेंज करने के लिए आपको ईडी लगाना होता है और सिर्फ थोड़ी सी स्पेलिंग चेंजेस करनी होती हैं. उसके अलावा हमारे पास इररेगुलर वर्ब्स भी होते हैं जो ऑलमोस्ट कंप्लीटली अपने पास्ट फॉर्म में चेंज हो जाते हैं, जिनकी पास्ट फॉर्म इतनी सिंपल नहीं होती कि आप सिर्फ ईडी लगा दें. Irregular verbs in the past tense. Some verbs do not take an ed to form the past simple. There are no specific rules about how to form irregular verbs in the past simple. तो irregular verbs जो हैं वो completely change हो जाते हैं. जैसे आपके पास अगर एक verb है where, so इसका past form weird नहीं होगा. The word weird does not exist. इसका past form होगा wore. तो ये verb completely change हो गया. And इसके लिए कोई rules नहीं होता. You just need to know कि कौन से जो हैं वो irregular verbs हैं. So go का past form है went. I went swimming yesterday. अगर इसको प्रेजेंट उसमें कहते तो आप कहते आई गो स्विमिंग एवरी डे, ही गोज स्विमिंग एवरी डे. लेकिन जब आप इसको पास्ट में कह रहे हैं तो आई गोड स्विमिंग yesterday नहीं होगा, आई वेंट स्विमिंग yesterday होगा. ठीक है. So go does not become goed, it becomes went in the past tense. Go, went, have, had, do, did, put, not putted, put. Come, came, see, saw. बहुत सारे verbs होते हैं ऐसे. There's no list that's complete, but they're just telling कि irregular verbs ऐसे होते हैं जिसमें ed नहीं आता, फॉर्म चेंज होती है, इसके कोई सेट रूल्स नहीं होते. Okay, another example. I swam yesterday. Sam ate 2 pizzas. We went to the zoo last week. तो इसके अंदर भी we know that in the past simple usually जो है verb जो है वो subject के साथ change नहीं होता. तो इधर भी irregular verbs में भी ये होता है, यही होता है. तो he swam yesterday, we swam yesterday, she swam yesterday, they swam yesterday. So ये same रहेगा, ये swams नहीं होगा, right? ये swams नहीं होगा subject पे depend करते हुए. Ates नहीं होगा. तो even in irregular verbs, this rule usually remains the same. The only verb that sort of changes in the past is be, जो कि was भी हो सकता है, verb भी हो सकता है, लेकिन उसकी हम बाद में बात करते हैं. जो usual verbs होते हैं जो be के अलावा हैं, उसके लिए जब subject change होगा तो verb change नहीं होगा. तो ये चाहे आप इसको लिख लें they ate 2 pizzas, she ate 2 pizzas, whatever. It won't be its, right? It चाहे कोई भी subject हो, the verb will remain the same even in the irregular verb. Even in the irregular verbs. We went to the zoo last week. So subject, irregular verb plus the rest of the sentence. Not we goed to the zoo last week, that's wrong. Not we eated 2 pizzas, that's wrong. Not we swimmed yesterday, that's wrong. Swam, ate, went, because irregular verbs. The past simple of be is completely irregular. It is the only verb in the past simple which changes depending on the subject. The traffic was bad, so we were late. So the traffic is singular, so was bad, and we is plural, so were late. He was a doctor for 40 years, and if you were to say they ki baat ho, you would say they were doctors for 40 years. There were lots of people at the party yesterday. So there were lots of people, so lots of people were. Okay, so we've already done subject verb agreement, right? So in past simple, the form of be that we have is ek to was or dusra were. जब हम states या actions या चीजों को describe कर रहे होते हैं कि चीजें कैसे हैं, कैसे थी. So action में तो हमने क्या किया, like we played last night, we went somewhere yesterday, right? लेकिन इसमें we are describing कि चीजें कैसी थी, like the states, the way things were. So the traffic was bad. तो जब इन चीजों की बात करते हैं तो we use the be form. तो be form में was या were आता है, and that's the only verb in the past simple that changes depending on the subject. So subject singular was and subject plural तो verb. And इसके जो बहुत सारे complicated rules हैं subject verb agreement के, वो we have already done. The past simple of be changes with the subject. I के साथ was, you के साथ were, he she के साथ was, we they के साथ were. I was, you were, he she was, we they were late to school. So subject plus form of be plus rest of sentence is the way to use be in the past simple form. Right. Again, even with be, I was happy yesterday. They were doctors 40 years ago. She was sad last October, whatever. So it's a state that has happened in the past. Okay, so how do you form the negative? The past simple negative uses didn't or did not with the base form of the verb. The main verb is not put into the past simple. इसका मतलब क्या है? तो जब आप बी नहीं इस्तेमाल कर रहे होते हैं, आप एक सिंपल पास्ट सिंपल सेंटेंस बना रहे होते हैं, तो आपका जो फॉर्मूला होता है वो होता है सब्जेक्ट प्लस डिड नॉट प्लस बेस फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब प्लस रेस्ट ऑफ सेंटेंस. सो आपने यहाँ बात की शी वेंट स्विमिंग. अब इसको आपने नेगेटिव बनाना है. शी जो है वो वैसे ही रहा, सब्जेक्ट के बाद आपने डिड नॉट ऐड किया. शी डिड नॉट. वेंट को आपने अपने बेस फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट किया, गो कर दिया, एंड स्विमिंग रिमेन्स द सेम. So it will not be she did not went swimming, right? Because convert it to the negative, when we convert it to the negative, then we use the base form of the verb. She had a cake for dinner last night. She फिर क्या है हमारे पास? Did not had को base form में have, and the rest of the rest of the sentence remains the same. When using in the negative form of the past simple, didn't plus the main verb uh, plus the main verb in the base form is used. The main verb is never in the past simple. So I played tennis last night. इसको आपने कन्वर्ट करने के लिए आप I सब्जेक्ट के बाद did not, didn't, जो भी, played tennis last night. This is wrong. Why is this wrong? Because I did not के बाद आपने played को played ही लिख दिया. That's not what you're going to do. You're going to convert played into the base form, which is play. So I did not play tennis last night. Play should be it is base form. I didn't play tennis last night. The main verb should only go into the past simple if it's a positive statement. In the negative statement, it will always be the base form, not the verb that it is, but the base form. Okay, what about when you use was and were? जो B होता है उसमें अगर आपको नेगेटिव करना हो, हमने अभी normal past simple sentence देखा. What about past simple sentences would be? So these are easy. Everything remains the same. बस was or were जो था उसके बाद not आ जाता है. The movie was interesting. The movie so negative में the movie was not interesting. The friends were late to school on Monday. The friends were the exact same. यहाँ पे आया the friends were, and then we just have not late to school on Monday. So after was your were, we just add not. The movie was not interesting. The movies were not interesting. तो जो भी subject verb agreement है वो वैसी रहेगी, but was या were जो भी है उसके बाद बस not आ जाएगा before the rest of the sentence. Questions in the past simple, दो types होंगे, are formed using did and the base form of the verb for the normal sentence. For past simple questions with be, the subject and the verb was or were are swapped around. Okay, so understand this. पहले हम first वाला देखेंगे जिसके अंदर normal वो है past form of the verb, no be, just a simple past form of the verb. इसको हम questions कैसे बनाएंगे? Questions in the past simple. They bought a new car. इसके अंदर to make it a past simple, सबसे पहले तो you add did. आप सबसे आगे इस sentence के सबसे आगे आप did लगाएंगे. Did स्मॉल करें, did they bought a new car, फिर आप इस bought को देखेंगे, ये आपका मेन वर्ब है, इसको आप बेस फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करेंगे, buy, did they buy a new car, question mark. तो ये जो did है, this goes before the subject, then the rest of the sentence is the same except the main verb which changes into the base form of the verb. The main verb in its base is in its base form, did goes before the subject. They had a good time. इसके अंदर आपने पहले did add किया, did they had a good time, had is the main verb, इसको आप करेंगे base form में have and then a question mark. Did they have a good time? Ray drank all the milk. Did Ray drink all the milk? Question mark. She went shopping. Did she go shopping? Question mark. She played cricket. Did she play cricket? Question mark. So this is how to take a regular past simple sentence and convert it into a question. Now, what about past simple sentences with the be form, yani was and were? This is simple. To make a question using the verb be in the past simple, swap the order of the subject and the was and were. So she was excited, was pehle aa jayega, she baad mein aayega, everything remains the same, question mark. Was she excited? You were excited, were you excited? Was, I, he, she और it के साथ आता है, were, you, we, they के साथ आता है, but जो भी आपका normal sentence है जो उसमें subject verb agreement में जो verb इस्तेमाल हो रहा है was या were, आप वो इस्तेमाल करेंगे, that just goes in before the subject. So she was excited, was she excited, you were excited, were you excited? She was happy, simply you just take was, you put it before the subject was, and you put the subject later, she happy, question mark. So was, were and the subject hota hai, they switch positions and a question mark is added. So that is it for past simple.